Do you remember when Brie Larson said to the critics of A Wrinkle in Time, who were, in her words, a bunch of 40-year-old white dudes, that the movie wasn't made for them? Well, Gal Gadot has something to say about Wonder Woman 1984 that goes directly against the narrative that Brie Larson was trying to spread and continues to spread with her movies and her craziness. And I really appreciate what Gal Gadot says here. So we're going to go ahead and listen to this because Gal Gadot continues to prove that she is one of the only sensible people working in Hollywood today. So let's go ahead and listen to what Gal Gadot has to say here.
Unique and meaningful.
Well, I mean, and it must have, maybe it brought emotions upon you because here you are suiting up for the second time in this iconic role, and you're a mom of 2 daughters.
Yeah, that too, for sure. I'm sure, but I gotta tell you, it's not just for the girls. It is for the girls, but we can't reach the place where we're gonna stop talking about female, men, you know, women empowerment, feminism, and all that, before we work on both, you know, female and male. Like, we can't just empower women only by focusing on women. We also need to educate the boys and the men. So, you know, a young boy that goes to see in the cinema this amazing woman that does those amazing things, that he can believe a woman could do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it goes both ways.
And I completely agree with what Gal Gadot says here. And I think that what she says there is very wise and is something that a lot more people in Hollywood need to kind of come to grips with. But because we know, we totally can see what is happening right now with the feminist movement in Hollywood, at least with a lot of the feminist movement happening in Hollywood, where they want to prop women up but tear men down. And this is something that is continuing to happen more and more in Hollywood. I mean, we've just seen with recent examples like Charlie's Angels with Elizabeth Banks saying a bunch of crap about men and stuff to try to make her movie seem that much more better or whatever, or saying, you know, like, if my movie fails then it's because of the patriarchy, and we're continuing to see more and more examples of that. What Gal Gadot says here goes completely against that narrative because she is being inclusive for everyone. And I really appreciate that because Wonder Woman can be inspiring to girls and boys because it's a great character, and that's the thing. That it should go both ways with that. You know, Luke Skywalker can be inspiring to boys and girls because he is a great character, and, you know, children, no matter what gender you are, there are only 2 genders, let me just say that, can be inspired by Luke Skywalker, by his bravery, by the fact that he didn't give up on his dreams, that he was, that he took risks, and he went up against so many hardships, and, you know, he didn't just continue to live the life that was given to him, he went out to form his own destiny. All of those types of messages can be extremely inspiring to children. And it doesn't matter what gender the child is. It can be inspiring to them. Wonder Woman the same way can be inspiring to girls and boys. And I'm so glad that Gal Gadot realizes this and isn't going out there and promoting Wonder Woman by tearing down men. And honestly, this is one of the very few examples that I can think of where this is happening. Where she isn't victimizing women. Where she isn't trying to paint a certain picture that isn't reality. She is simply stating that, yes, you know, feminism is important. And let me just say this, okay? Feminism is fine in a certain aspect. I think that the feminism movement, when it first started, it was a great thing, you know, as most movements are. They start off with great intentions, great motives, but then they usually become something corrupt and something that it shouldn't be, something that's way more harmful and damaging than what it started off being. And I think that's kind of what feminism has become today. It's a lot more of a damaging, corrupt thing than it was when it was first started. But I do think that there are people out there who are positively feminist, if that makes sense. And I think that Gal Gadot is one of them, you know? Male feminists will always be a problem, though. I don't care who you are. If you say that you're a male feminist, yeah, no. I'm not having anything to do with that. But I'm not a feminist, and I'm not a, what would you call that? Maleist? What would you call like a male version of that? Like, whatever. But I'm not like either of them. I guess you could say I'm a humanist, I guess. Like, I'm just like, okay, You know, I don't care what gender you are. I think that we should all have the same rights, and I think that we should all be treated the same way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I think that we should all be treated with respect. I don't care if you're a dude. I don't care if you're a woman. We should be treated with respect. And I think that that should go both ways. But unfortunately, many people in the feminist movement don't want to do that. They don't want to treat men and women with respect, with equal respect. They want to give women special treatment. And they want to, and a lot of the women want to get special treatment as well. So I'm glad that Gal Gadot isn't falling into that narrative, and I hope that she continues to fight against that current narrative that's being preached right now in Hollywood. So I appreciate the fact that she's saying this movie isn't just for girls. It's for girls and boys, and they can both be inspired by Wonder Woman as a character. And I totally agree with what she's saying there. And you know, like look, I like to point out when people in Hollywood say positive things. Gal Gadot is definitely one of the people that I do more of these videos on, because she says a lot more positive things than most people in Hollywood. But I try to point out when people say positive things like this, as much as I like to call out the really stupid things that people in Hollywood say as well. So, you know, Gal Gadot is pretty much the complete opposite of people like Elizabeth Banks and Brie Larson and stuff, and I really do appreciate that a lot. So, let me know in the comments below what you think about what Gal Gadot was saying here in this interview. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you are new around here, consider subscribing to the channel as well. I would greatly appreciate that. And I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.